You want to say happy anniversary to me?
Happy anniversary, honey. So this cake is almost a replica. It's a little bit different, but the ingredients are identical to the cake that we had for our wedding 35 years ago. And it's made out of almond paste and icing sugar, basically, right?
It's marzipan.
Yeah, it's called marzipan. And it has a little bit of egg white, I think, to help
Mixed in with
hold it together. And it's baked in rings, and then it's glued together with icing sugar. And this was made at a Danish bakery in Toronto, and Yetta's parents lovingly brought it up from Toronto.
As our wedding anniversary gift. Not
As-
actually both.
Yes,
They gave us one for our wedding, and then they gave us one for our 35th
and
wedding
they're not
anniversary.
an inexpensive cake. And so we thank them very much for it. And a little story, when I was 12 years old, my sister was getting married. And I drove down with my dad to Toronto to pick up the wedding cake. And it was a kranse cake. Is that how you pronounce it?
Kranse cake.
Oh, you say it better. Say that again?
Kranse cake.
Yeah, kranse cake. That's what I said.
Almost.
And I was tasked with sitting in the back of the station wagon and steadying the cake. And now, maybe it was because I was 12 years old and I'm a lot smaller, but I thought the cake was a lot bigger than that. And
That's one of the bigger ones. I think you can make them bigger, but then the base ring has to get bigger because they're
Yeah,
tiered.
I think
And
I
then they
remember
would come.
bigger.
It was in 3 pieces, wasn't it?
Yes.
So this would have been originally delivered in 2 pieces, and then once it arrives, you take a little bit of icing sugar and you put the 2 layers together. So a taller one would be, when you get it from the baker, in 3. So in 3 big boxes. No, I'm wearing a different cake. 3 different boxes, and then you just take them and put a little bit of icing sugar and put them together, basically.
Yes.
So it would have been about that big, the one that you had for your sister's wedding.
Yes. So I was told to hold on to it on the way back from Toronto to Barrie. Actually, the other side of Barrie. And my father hit the brakes, and I went flying, and I crushed my sister's wedding cake. Yeah.
Flat.
12 years old, I wrecked it. And the wedding was the next day. And we called down to the Danish baker, and the baker stayed up all night and made another one, and one of the guests from Toronto brought it with them up to Barrie. And you know, actually, it was the Gibsons who we stayed
With
on our honeymoon. We stayed with them for a couple of days. They brought it up from Toronto. So the good thing was we had a lot of extra pieces, and so we had kranse cake for many days after that, which was awesome. So actually, I think it was the hero.
And the neat thing with it is, every time we get one, the flowers may be red and white, or the flowers for our wedding were actually pink and blue rather than red and white, and they had a little bride and groom on top. Now the thing to do is put the initials of the couple, put it in a heart, and it's actually made out of the same kanske, just made into the shape. And we'll pretty much always put the Danish and the Canadian flags on if it's being given to somebody in Canada, to show the Danish heritage and then the Canadian
Patriotism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of our favorite things, and we get one probably every 15
35 years.
Well, I think we had one for our 25th.
Did we?
Yeah. So.
You're saying yes?
Uh-huh. So it's a neat treat, and so we're happy to share it, and yeah.
And you will all get a taste.
Happy anniversary.